Showtime! The Capital G show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here. So Konami has finally decided to give us some information as far as the Noble Knight box set that's going to be released fairly soon. I believe it's November. And it looks like the first card that they're going to be talking about is Last Chapter of the Noble. It's a normal spell, and the effect is when your opponent controls at least one monster and you don't, target one Noble Arms equipped spell in your graveyard and one Noble Knight monster in your graveyard that can be equipped with that spell. Special summon that monster and equip it with the equipped spell. You can only activate one Last Chapter of the Noble Knights per turn. Now see, this is the shit I'm talking about. This is an excellent card. This is how you take a deck that is pretty much super obscure and you know that you want to move a whole bunch of product and you end up making the deck highly competitive and widely accessible for a bunch of players who are interested in it. I mean, I think that this card is fantastic. That was pretty much my initial reaction when I saw the card. I was like, okay, I think I like it. And, you know, Capital G is not a Noble Knight expert by any means, and if MEDRAUT wasn't like 30 bucks a piece, I'd consider building the deck. But I know that this card is good. Even if you knew nothing about Noble Knights, like you never had heard of the archetype, but you knew about Yu-Gi-Oh! And everything like that, you could look at this card and say it's good because, okay, well, it's a +1, so that automatically makes it pretty legitimate. It's also a fantastic top deck. It gives you any Noble Knight monster in your graveyard. There's no restriction on the monster. There's also no restriction on what the monster can do. It doesn't say you can't exceed with it or it blows itself up during the end phase, or, you know, it has to be under a certain attack or some garbage like that. But let's actually dig a little bit deeper. And again, I am a complete Noble noob, so, you know, take what I say, I guess, with somewhat of a grain of salt. I like this card because when you look at monsters like Boars or Madrid or Guavalad, I probably butchered that, but, you know, fuck it. All of those guys need Noble Arm equipped spells to use their effects and basically, well, you know, make them like worth a damn. And Last Chapter gives you everything that you need. You get the monster, you get the spell. It doesn't make you like pick or choose what you want. And from what I can see, I think that going into Boars or Guavalad, because, you know, you can equip Guavalad with like Destiny or, you know, the Noble Arm card that basically has like the built-in a la carte effect, the one that I can't pronounce. Either one of those plays pretty much nets you a +2, which to me, whenever I hear like a card can net an archetype a +2, I'm pretty much thinking, okay, well, that's kind of like an automatic 2-of in a deck. You know, with Boars, I mean, that card is just dumb. Like, you equipped it with a Noble Arm card, and then you get to just search for another one all on that power tool shit. But I like this card. I mean, even with the Booge Incarnation restriction, and I mean, come on, let's be real. We all know how easy that shit is to get around. I mean, Booge players do it all the time. I think that this card is super solid. I think that that Noble Knight players are probably going to use at least one copy. I mean, I would consider recommending 2, but again, I don't know like all the intricacies of Noble Knights and how, you know, often they go to the graveyard and shit like that, but I mean, the card has to be a 1-of just on principle. You know, fantastic top deck, gives you field presence. You know, again, it's a +1 on activation, but if you use it with Boars or Guavalad, it's like a +2. And I can actually see why they built in the you can only use it once per turn, because, you know, I guess they figure, well, if you use this and then your monster gets like torrential, we don't want you just activating another one. I think they maybe missed the boat on a Booge Incarnation with that shit, because they probably look at Booge Incarnation and they're like, yeah, that was a little too powerful. So let me know what you guys think. I think that if Konami is going to plan on releasing cards like this, that we can see Noble Knights become like more of a meta deck, because the deck does have some really good plays, and I mean, they really can just put like one monster on board and just make that shit unkillable a la Bujin play style. And realistically, I still do think like 80% of Yu-Gi-Oh players still have no idea what the fuck like all of their cards do, so I always give them an edge there. But yeah, I mean, some of their recent cards like Knights of the Round Table have been garbage, but I think that this more than makes up for that. So let me know what you guys think of this card. Do you think that it is going to improve the viability of Noble Knights? I personally do, because I think that this card is fantastic. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or if you like Noble Knights. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you haven't, I have no idea what the heck you're doing. And of course, check out my Kickstarter. We're like almost 45% there, so I know that we can do it in the, I think, 15 days that we have left. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribing makes life happy.